tell me. Admit it.
Please
No,
stop it.
admit it.
Please
Look,
stop.
I had one son taken away from me, and I'm not going to let you or anybody else take away this one.
No, you see, this baby is not a thing that you can possess. And that's all it represents to you. That's why you've got to believe you're the
Susie,
father.
that isn't true at all.
If you thought of this child as a person, you wouldn't be in here trying to hurt me or trying to make me say what you want to hear.
All right, fine. But you have not heard the last of me on this one. You just wait until I'm back up on top. You're going to be standing in line with all the rest of the people waiting for a handout. And I'll tell you something, Susie. I am going to be back up on top, and you can count on it.
Susie. Susie, what happened?
Get out.
Are you all right?
Don't come near me.
You were Lori's best friend.
Don't you reporters ever know when to give up?
I just have one question.
No, I don't want to talk about Lori anymore. I want to forget.
I have to know. Did Lori Hughes have a music box?
I know you're not sitting around waiting to hear this, but it's the sound of no grease on plastic. If your plastic doesn't do this, you need Dawn. Watch. Chili grease. You know the sticky stuff that never seems to come off? Dawn is so tough, it pulls grease even off plastic. Even with my eyes closed, I
am a dare. Oh, that's TR. Right, and TR means you. That's wild. How come all those squigglies mean me? Well, what do you mean, how come? Like, who decided that was me? Oh, it wasn't just one person, and it didn't happen overnight. See, thousands of years ago, people realized that they needed some way to record business deals or to send messages to other people far away. So they started off by drawing pictures on clay. But that got to be very complicated. And heavy, carrying all that clay around. Exactly. So other ancient people started writing on papyrus leaves, and the signs they made represented things. And in time, other ancient people realized that if the signs stood for sounds, the signs, or letters as we call them, could be used over and over again in words. Well, for example, TR means you, but there are lots of words with the sounds TR in them. Can you think of some? Travel. Trouble. Travis. Terrific. Well, that's good. At least you're getting the idea. All right, now close your eyes and think about the word I'm going to say. Okay, what comes to your mind when I say the word house? House. I see a building with a front door and lots of windows, and it has a chimney, and on cold days you can see smoke coming out of it. And indoors, there are rooms like a kitchen where the food is cooked, and a bedroom where people sleep, and a nursery for the babies. Should I go on? No, that's enough. Open your eyes. What's that? House. If I wrote to my mother in Ireland and told her that we were talking about a house, she would think of a place much like the one you just described. You see, our mind has an image, and our hand writes down that image, and then people read the word for that image, and they get the image. Wow. Well, you should be very good at it because you're an artist. You think so? Well, of course. You're constantly translating what you see or what you imagine onto paper. If you string thousands of words together, you get a book. Or a romantic novel like my mother reads. Where magnificent ladies in beautiful gowns go to great balls and go dancing, and handsome men kiss their hands and whisper in their ears.
Ooh, do they get it together?
Well, only after a lot of complications. These women have a lot of dark secrets. Ooh, so that's what's in those books. Well, if you work hard enough, someday you can write a book. Well, I'll be happy just to read one. Well, you can read the news. You can read Sonny and Hogan's article in the Herald. Well, I'm not so sure I'm going to want to do that. Well, at least now you have the opportunity. Hey, show me some more words. All right. You are a dare. You are a dare. He is Travis. That's Travis. Do along. She is Elon. Now, Liza. She is Liza. And Turner? Well, this one's a little difficult because Turner comes from French. Someday, when you master the King's English, I'll teach you French. Fat chance. Okay, now read them back to me. I am TR. You are Adair. He is Travis. She is Alon. She is Liza. He is Turner. Terrific. Now you know the whole family. Oh, not quite. How do I write Mr. Bergman?
A music box. You really take the cake, mister. You know that? You really do. My best friend has been murdered by some fiend, and you want to do a story on a music box?
I wouldn't put pressure on you like this if I didn't think that it was necessary. I want Laurie's killer found just as bad as you do. This music box may be a clue.
There is no music box here.
Are you sure that it isn't with her things?
The police searched through every dresser drawer, the closets. I saw them search through every piece of her clothing. They tore this place apart. And they took all of her personal things and put them in cardboard boxes and took them off with them. Laurie's whole life reduced to the contents of a cardboard box.
So the police didn't find it?
Well, my mind is blank.
But there was one. Laurie did have a music box. Now try to think. But just take your time. Maybe it would help if you thought of the tune that it played.
Tune? Wait a minute. She did have a music box. I don't know who gave it to her, but it was on her nightstand. And she said that when she went to bed, she turned it on, and that she was sound asleep before it wound down.
Do you remember the name of the song?
Yes, it was her song. It was Laura.
No, please.
I promise I won't touch you. But you gotta tell me what happened. What did he do to you?
It was awful.
Easy.
He was furious.
Did he hurt you? What did he do to upset you like this?
He wanted me to tell him that the baby was his.
Just doesn't give up, does he? Are you all right?
I'm all right. Oh, it was so beautiful, and he's destroyed.
Forget about the horse. I can fix the horse, but what about you? What about you? Are you all right? Here, easy. What should I call a doctor? What should I do?
No. I'll be all right. I have to get a hold on myself.
I swear to you, I will never let Carter come near you again.
No, you see, it was my fault. If I have to get a court order, I will keep him away from me. I refuse to ever let him frighten me again. I will die before I will let Warren come near my baby.
I'm sorry I'm late. I've been stuck in traffic for the last half hour.
Your call pulled me away from an investigation, Hogan. This better not be more pie in the sky about the Laura Hughes case. Your tail's in a sling.
Look, Laurie Hughes had a music box.
What are you talking about?
Somebody gave it to her. We've got to find it.
That's why you called me down here, to tell me this? Do me a favor, will you, Hogan? Remind me never to come running at a reporter's bidding.
Look, what's it going to take to convince you how important this is?
Well, nothing you've said so far interests me in the least.
Look, I am sure that Laurie Hughes' killer gave it to her. We find the music box, we'll find the killer.
All right, all right. What does this music box look like?
I don't know.
Do you know the name of the store where it was sold or the manufacturer?
No.
Great. You want me to find a music box that was not with Laurie Yu's possessions when the police investigated. You can't describe it, and we can't trace it to a store or a manufacturer. What do we do now? Hire a psychic?
Marion, the music box played Laura.
And Miss Adamson got one that played Sonny Gets Blue from Jack Benton.
Too much of a coincidence, wouldn't you say? Now can we get a search warrant?
Let's go.
You have no right to say such dreadful things about Jack.
I have to say them because I'm afraid for you. Can't you see that?
All I can see is you're a bitter lady who doesn't want me to go out with her old boyfriend. Look, Ms. Adamson, I don't mean to be rude, but who I date is my own business, and frankly, I really resent your interfering in my private life.
Jack Benton hates women and preys on them. He is emotionally sick.
You know, I am beginning to think that everybody in this television studio is slightly daffy. Just this morning, Mrs. Wyatt practically bit my head off because somebody sent her a bouquet of flowers. Susie Wyatt's in there right now, crying her eyes out with some guy, and you're standing here telling me to stop seeing the only person in this whole place who's shown any semblance of sanity.
When it's all an act
Jack
with
Benton
Jack.
has been a perfect gentleman. Kind, considerate.
That's exactly the way he was with me before he raped me. He disarmed me with his sweet talk. He called me his lovely lady, but he was just setting me up.
That's what you say.
You don't have to take my word for it. There are books written about men like Jack. They're predators who hate women.
That's enough. I'm not going to listen to any more of this ugly talk about Jack. You know, you are the one who sounds crazy. You're just holding a grudge because nobody would believe all of your lies. Well, I'm not going to believe them either. So get off my back and leave me alone.
Isn't there anything I can say to stop you from getting involved with him?
No. And for your information, I have a date with him this evening. I'm looking forward to it, and I have no intention of breaking it.
Great. Now we have 40 million more words to learn.
Oh, not at all. Every new word can be used over and over again.
Not Bergman.
Hey, even Bergman. I mean, that's not only the name of our illustrious grandfather here, but also the name of a very famous Swedish director, Ingmar Bergman.
Yeah, and then there's that famous actress, Ingrid Bergman.
Oh, I never heard of her.
Well, that's because you're too young.
Listen, I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt this, but the caterer's finished working in the kitchen, and he'd like to take a look at the living room. He's concerned about the traffic flow for the party.
Oh, my.
Well, no problem. We're just about to call it quits anyway.
Oh, does that mean you have to go?
I should.
Of course, I found her terribly amusing.
I'm sure.
Ah, the perfect backdrop for the ambiance I will create. Mrs. Santel, could you do something about that impertinent gentleman in the kitchen?
Excuse me, Mr. Policelli.
Paolecelli.
Yes, well, the kitchen is Jimmy's territory. I never interfere there.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, let's see. What we'll do is we will move this over there and, that has to go.
My grandfather?
What? Oh, no. The wall sculpture. Oh, just leave everything to me, Mrs. Santel. I will transform this house. It will be so beautiful. It will become a palace of pleasure.
Well, I like it the way it is, don't you? Don't you think it's nice?
Actually, we don't really want to make very many changes. What kind of flowers would you suggest?
The dandelions are in season.
I think black and pink tulips, suggesting an arrangement a la 18th century romanticism. We will serve pink Tuscan lamb, underdone to perfection, stuffed pheasant, and of course, the finest caviar.
And maybe Jimmy can toss some dandelion greens into the salad.
I would suggest white wines from Orvieto.
Oh, you can make wine out of dandelions, too.
I've tasted it.
You like it?
We'll stick with the Orvieto. Hey, Adair, I hope you remember you're invited to this party on the 4th. There'll be other young people here you can meet and have some fun with, and your brother's going to be here.
Well, I'll have to see if I can make it.
Will you be back at school by then?
I'm not sure when I have to go back to school, but
Well, I never miss a party if I can help it.
Well, good. Why don't you join us for dinner tonight as well, then?
Oh, please come. Well, yes, thank you.
Mrs. St.